Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Coach's Corner. With me, as always, the coach, Todd Kiley. Coach, all I can say is, wow, what a game, what a game. How long does it take you to come down from that kind of high?
That's a good question, right? We're probably still on it. No, you gotta flip the page at some point. But yeah, it was. I think I forget what reporter I told, but it was the only word for it was electric. It
was insane.
It was to beat a team like we did.
And they were what, 13-0, 15-0, some sort of streak.
Yeah, they had I think a 14-game win streak. Yeah, so to beat a team of that quality, like we did it, is just impressive. And again, it's these kids, they just keep stepping up, and it's different kids doing it, and it's just very encouraging. Now you turn on the film, and there's still a lot that we need. Yeah, that we need to work on. The first half defensively was not our best. We didn't tackle well, didn't do a lot of the things that we had talked about during the week. And good teams like that force you into some of those things. But so we get, and the kids they were right there with us saying, "Yep, we agree with you, coach." So we're starting to work on some of those things that we fell short in this week. So these kids are workers, and that's one thing that they'll always be. So anything we need to work on, they're going to work on it.
Yeah, it was. It took just even not being on the field for it, just being in the booth and then going home and sitting there and just trying to just calm down from it. It was just electric. It was fantastic.
It was great. And I was there was a bunch of people that have asked me, like, in your 21 years as a head coach, if you ever had a game like that, and a handful of games,
sure,
for sure. But just the way it all unfolded, and for us to come back like we did, and I don't know how many times that they pronounced us dead.
Yeah, I mean,
there was probably quite a few.
I was thinking to myself as I rewatched the tape and everything, there were several times where, they're standing over the coffin with the nail in their hand, and it's like, all right, we're going to come back again.
Yeah.
But let's go over that. So that first half, like you said, your first three series, you have a 12-play drive with about 4 or 5 first downs. You miss a field goal. Interception gives them a short field on the next drive. And then you get deep in their territory and fumble, and you think things are going okay, but you look up at the scoreboard, it's 13-0. What's going on at that point in your mind?
Yeah, so just as you said, we move the ball, right? Move the chains, move the ball, and did it in ways that we wanted to. That was part of the game plan. So that can be even more of a dagger if you get all the way down there and you come up with goose egg both times. A lot of teams, it's just natural to be deflated, even more deflated,
right,
than if we were 3-0,
right,
on some of those.
That's what I meant. Like, you start coming away thinking, are we snake bit today?
Yeah.
You go down the field 12 plays against a very good team,
yeah,
and you come away with nothing.
Yeah.
And you're on the 9 and fumble, and
yeah,
it's 13-0.
Yeah, and
it's got to be. Is it hard to keep the kids up at that point?
Well, I think
it's still only 13-0.
Yeah.
It's not like it's 25-0 or anything.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. No other option, right?
Right.
I mean, we just got to keep plugging away.
Right.
We preach it all week. We've been preaching it since day one. It's like it's about the next play. You got to flush whatever's happened. And again, we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, you're feeling a little bit of that, but you can't feel it. So you just keep moving on. I got my call sheet. I'm thinking, all right, what do we need? What can we do? What can we do next? And to get that touchdown before the half.
Well, that's where I was going next, and I felt that was the turning point of the game.
Yeah.
They get the ball back. There's 2:30 left somewhere in there. They move the ball up to to their own 35. Penalty drives them back. They run the ball to get another. They throw a pass, get 10 more yards, and then they have time to. They're getting the ball at halftime, up 13-0. But you sort of say, are they getting greedy here and throwing the ball 3 times here, go 3 and out? Did you were you surprised at that strategy?
No.
Or are you still saying there's 2:30? There's still
the ball
plenty
of time. I mean, I think they're sort of cut from the same cloth, staff, and the mentality wise that's us on that end.
Yep.
You gotta keep playing, and
Right.
you
You're
know.
trying to bury him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you only have so many opportunities to score.
Yeah.
And I think they felt like this is a good team that we're playing here. And if we got an opportunity to move the ball and put more points on the board to separate ourselves from this good team that they saw on film, right? They do their homework, so I think they just saw it as that, and it didn't.
So they go back to punt, gets a good snap off, but Julian fights his way through the line, and although he doesn't get there, you have to see that tank coming at you as you're punting, and it has to affect him some way, and it affected him into a 9-yard shank.
Yep. It definitely altered it. For sure. Yep.
And then Justin comes on the field. You send Justin back on the field, and I thought he was very composed. I mean, he only had to throw 3 passes, but there's a little sense of urgency. The clock is winding down. He hits a beautiful pass to Frollo for 20 yards, I think.
Yep.
A little crazy flick to Weber, and then he hits Chase Kiriakopoulos going down the break between the 2 other receivers, and the 2 guys that are covering them both go with Kyle. But that play takes a little while to develop, and you gotta admire Justin's ability to wait it out, his patience.
Yeah, no, I thought he was great, really all game. He, used the word composure. I thought he had great composure. He's a kid that plays with a lot of savvy. He's got a good arm. He's smart. And yeah, he made a great read on that. That safety got on top of our corner route, which left the post underneath. We had a few steps on that.
Sure.
So, but those sometimes are the hardest throws.
Hardest catches.
And the hardest catches.
Yes.
When you're wide open and it's in the air for like 7 minutes, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Chase did a great job just locking in.
Yep.
And just a huge score before the half, and the PAT.
Going through
has been great for us as well.
So let's go back to the PATs. It's 13-7 at the half, mainly because they missed an extra point. Would you have gone for 2 on the next one? That was the conversation you could hear amongst the parents.
Yeah.
Parents up there.
Yeah, you obviously you're always thinking in terms of the field, getting to that field goal stage or
Right.
whatever it might be. So yes, we're never going to leave points off the board that need to be on the board.
Right.
And you got to give yourself a shot at that. But they didn't miss the PAT. We blocked.
Oh, we blocked it, right. Weber blocked it.
Yeah,
Weber blocked it.
right?
Yes.
Huge block.
Huge block.
And that and again, that's our kids showing the Franklin fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go down, they score with ease. I mean, they were.
Well, it's like we say every week. We find a reason why special teams has made us much better this year.
That was a game goal. We have our game goals we go over before every game, and that was a game goal of ours, was make a play. Like, be the difference. And that was the difference. You can look back at that play and say, that's the difference between winning and losing the ball game. So
you go into the half. It could have been 13-0. A lot of finger point or what are we doing here? Instead, it's 13-7. And now who gives a crap what happened earlier on in the game? We're in a dogfight here.
Exactly.
Is that the message you portrayed to the team?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's always 0-0. After at every halftime. This is a new half. You make some adjustments, and you get feedback from the kids. They do a great job of providing feedback. You can't see everything out there, so taking their feedback and making the adjustments. We made some tweaks defensively, and we were the confidence was there the second half. Just that, and just by going out and really it was a few plays to get that touchdown. We had played well overall.
Yeah.
Felt like we played well, and with the exception of a few plays, we knew we were as good, if not better, than that team. And we showed that in the second half,
Yeah, the third quarter goes scoreless. I'd be remiss not to mention the big 4th and 3 stop where Weber fights his way through the line to the impact, and then Julian comes and just finishes it off.
I wouldn't want to be on the receiving
end
end of those
no. I think I called it as a Julian or as a Weber Rampino sandwich on the guy.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Then we finally find a way to break through. Willie T gets a 15-yard we go to war. Willie T gets a 15-yard run. You break out a new war play where you're in shotgun, and Willie T throws the ball to Sidwell, I believe, and there's a PI.
Yep.
Moves the ball down. You get the scariest moment of the day is Weber with a little arrow pass that he takes down to the goal line, and I'm looking at the tape and I see you're about 23, 24 yards away from the play running down.
Yep.
The ref is 10 yards away from the play running down, and the ball's on the other side of Weber. Are
Yeah.
you sitting there holding your breath saying, my God, this game could be a coin flip with the referee?
Yeah, you just what are you talking about? You never want to leave it in the hands of the referees. They they're doing the best they can out
Sure.
there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy job at all. So you want to.
It definitely looked like the ground caused the fumble.
Yeah. I
Yes,
actually
the
had
impact.
I actually did have. I was far enough on the field
Mm-hmm.
where I saw he hit, his elbow. I wasn't sure if he got the pylon before it, anyways. But they didn't mark it. They didn't score it a touchdown, obviously, and they marked him down, which was turned out being the right call. We just and those are things we can learn from. First down, we talk about you don't lunge, you don't hold the ball out, trying to get over the goal
Right.
line. You do what you can to obviously get in, but on first down, you want to live to see that next play. And he's like Alex he is a student of the game, and he's like, yeah, my bad, coach. You get caught like he's a winner.
Right.
He's a winner. He's thinking, I gotta
shot at-
score here,
right.
and it's hard. It's hard in the heat of the moment to
I
say,
think
oh
it's
yeah,
hard
this
for
is first down.
for a 27-year-old man, let alone a
Yeah,
16,
absolutely.
17-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
so he did what all of us would have done.
Absolutely.
Because it's hard.
It's hard not to go for it.
It is. It's hard. So it's and at the end of the day, he held on to it. So we were fine, and
Really
it was a huge catch and run, a great throw. It was executed perfectly.
And then Willie T does what Willie T does, goes up the middle for the touchdown.
Yep.
Hit the extra point, and now we're up 14-13, and everything's all over the place.
Yeah, we flipped it. We flipped it on them, and we, and the energy was there, really all game. But you saw it taken to another level there.
Oh,
yeah. But you still got to go out. They have plenty of time.
And
that
time
team,
they did,
that
and
offense.
they came right down and moved the ball, and,
Yep.
and they score. Go for two, and this time it's stopped. I think Rampino makes the tackle in the backfield.
Yep.
So that's three potential points that they have left up on the field that we have managed to stop.
Yep.
So we get the ball back. The clock is winding down. It's 3rd and 11. Fairweather catches a ball about 8 yards. I thought he got destroyed by the kid, by the shoulder and the helmet in the high area, but they actually called pass interference, I believe.
They
on
called
that.
pass interference. Yeah. Which it could have been. You could have called really anything on that.
Right.
Between pass interference, defenseless
Defenseless player.
player.
That's what I thought it was.
Targeting
but
any.
you get the flag, and then the play of the game I thought was Stefan with the catch and run. And I mean, he breaks the tackle at the 32, at the 10, at the 5, and almost gets it all the way down
Right.
to the 4.
Yeah.
Good throw, good catch,
Yeah.
great run.
Yeah.
You call timeout. Take us into that huddle. What's going on?
Yeah, so I thought he got out of bounds, but then I see one of the officials winding it.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, well, and we had 2 timeouts.
Right.
So, which are basic. I mean, we were gonna need them if we didn't score, obviously, on that last play. But so we're in the timeout. I knew we were gonna go to war, but Justin immediately is like, Coach, I think we should go to war, which I just found to be typical of
Unselfish.
yeah, just typical of what
Right.
he's shown this season. Is he doesn't care if he's out there, if he's not. He's he wants to win,
Right.
and that was a perfect example of that right there. And we called the war team out there. We go gun. We're going gun war on this one. And Willie T said, I think we can get him on 94. which is one of our plays that we run.
So does he have is it a run pass option at that point for him?
Yeah, I mean it's a pass play,
Mm-hmm.
but any pass play with Willie T is
It's
a run
play.
is a run pass option.
Right.
So he just made a great decision, right? We talked to our quarterbacks is if the run is there, that's 100% on the completion chart. So he just sort of did a nice job of letting it sift itself out, and just tucked it and got the corner of the end zone, and it was just one of those moments like won this game. You know, it was just a good feeling.
Yeah.
You know, you see the kids work as hard as they work all week, and then battling back in the game, and
I thought it was great. I don't think the crowd ever gave up.
No.
It was a great crowd, a great atmosphere.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
It really was. It was just it was a special moment to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just that moment, the entire
Right.
really the
No,
entire
and the
game.
students come pouring onto the field
Yep.
and everything like that. It was
Oh, it's just that's what it's all about.
Sure.
And you just sort of you take a step back, and you're just so happy for the kids that you get to experience that.
Right.
You know, a lot of kids don't get to experience that moment,
Mm-hmm.
and just to sort of, you know, see it from a little bit of a distance going on. You're just happy for them,
Right.
and proud of them, and just a good moment. You know, you're proud of the coaches, you're proud of the kids, you're proud of the parents, the families that made it all possible. You're just sort of reflecting on everything, you know, and then the student section, and you talk about them not giving up, you know, like the crowd didn't give up at all.
Wow.
13-0, they're still into it, and you know, I'm sure even the announcer
The
was
announcer was into it, giving you the
was in
first
it-
downs and
into it.
everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we love it. Any help helps.
So
We're not just doing it as a freshman coach,
On
which
the
we got to
field
get to you guys
and
at
off
some
the field.
point.
Well, we'll get to when the Papa Bowl rolls around in
Okay.
November.
All right.
So my game balls were for Justin. Now, normally I only give out 3, but today there's a different kind of game, so we gave out a few. Justin, great touchdown, 2 great drives. The touchdown drive and the drive that leads to getting the winning score. Plus he threw for about 240 something. Stefan, 99 yards. I don't think any of them were easy yards. I thought they were all big catches.
Huge catches.
You know, Willie T. Every week, Willie T. People are starting to think I'm voting for him for the Heisman, but no, he two big touchdowns.
Yep.
Gamer. Plus a big pass to Weber, and then Julian and Weber. I asked Coach Collins, what he thought, and he gave me both names, and he said, and watching the tape, yeah, they both deserve game balls. They were all over the place.
They were animals.
So the MIA comes out with their rankings. Do you pay attention to the rankings? You follow the rankings?
Yeah, we follow it.
Yeah.
Just to see where we stand and where we need to get to, and so we're right in the thick of it. We're right
Number
up there.
7.
Yeah, number 7. We were 6th last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you
How you beat a
beat a
good
team
and-
beat a team like that, and you
Right.
drop a ranking. But that's how it rolls. It's not a perfect system.
Mhm.
So you just you let the chips fall where they may, but it's exciting. It's exciting
Oh, yeah.
to view that each week and see where you stand. But we're right there. At the end of the day, you're shooting for that home game in the playoff.
Oh, yeah.
If you're looking down the road,
Right.
that's not something we think about or talk about right now.
No, but it's
But at the
something
end,
that-
when all 8 games are done, if you got that home game as the opener, then you've done
Right.
you've done your job. And sometimes you need, if you get a little bit of luck, then you get the
Might
second.
grab 2.
Yeah, you might grab 2 but you need some bounces and some luck for that. But again, we don't worry about any of that stuff right now. It's about the next opponent, and about the next day. Like what are we doing today to get better, to be better for tomorrow?
So you got a bye weekend. You take advantage of it. Family time.
And the family knows we'll see him in December.
See him in December.
No, but it's
Well, your son plays ball too.
he does, so we
Uh-huh.
get out to see him.
Yep.
And this was a weekend I had circled on my calendar actually to be at the 8th grade games. They play back to back on Saturday. And my son's more of a role player, but the starter he's got an injury right now, so looks like TJ might might get the nod.
Gotta make the road trip for that.
So yeah, it's a 3.5 hour trip. But yeah, you can't miss your
No.
kids. I'll always say it, like, to my staff. You got kids playing in college or wherever they're playing. That's something you never miss on. So you try and cover for guys and make up whatever needs to be made up so that
Sure.
families can do that. That's important.
Yeah, and they're also the ones that give you the permission to come out and spend. I mean, I've said this when I was with Ian. I don't think anybody appreciates the amount of time high school football coaches put into a season.
Yeah.
And how much appreciative your spouses and children have to be to allow you to do that.
It's a ton.
Yeah.
It's a ton of work. It's a ton of hours. It's the energy expended every day. We always joke about it, how it's just such a, like, why do we do it to ourselves? It's unhealthy. You don't eat well. You don't sleep well. You don't exercise anymore because you don't have time to do that. And you're away from the people that you love the most.
You're with your players more than you are with your family.
With your family. And I love my players.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something to be said for, at least my family knows that this is my passion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is what I was put on this earth to do, and they jump instead of like complaining about it or being upset about it. They jump. They become part of it.
Sure.
So they jump in. My wife is a huge part of this, and she's all in. My kids are all in as much as they can be.
Right.
They're off doing their own things, and so that piece of it, it's just you gotta have a family that's understanding.
Yeah.
To be able to do it. Obviously, your family is quite understanding with the amount of
Well,
hours
this year,
you're putting in, coaching 2 teams and doing everything you're doing. So you know it more than anybody that it does require support at home. So, and we have it, thankfully.
Well, enjoy the bye. We're not here next week. We have number 13 Taunton. Are we home or away? I don't even remember.
We are at Taunton.
We're at Taunton because the freshmen are home on Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week. Enjoy the bye weekend, everybody, on the Coach's Corner.